Hey guys, how's it going? So we got some news leaks. Most of this info should be in Koro like tomorrow or Saturday, whenever the issue drops. But I figured I would go ahead and talk about it since they've been leaked. Now, like I said, this should be in Koro tomorrow, which means we'll end up doing another video on this. But for now, we've got some images of Drandagger Hellchain and the new Rhino Beyblade, Rhinohorn. They're a pretty low resolution. They're kind of grainy. I guess these were on a TV special or something, TV commercial. I don't know. But the Drandagger and Hellchain are coming in the deck sets next month. We don't know if they're upgrades, if they're evolutions, if these are going to be going to the main characters, how they're going to be going to the main characters. I think it's really early to do Evos. And when I say Evo, I don't mean that the Beyblade's literally going to evolve. I mean like the second iteration of Dronsword and Hellchain. And the reason why I say that is because Bird has done nothing with Hellscythe so far. So for him to have his Beyblade replaced twice, to be on his third Beyblade now, having not won anything, would be very weird. Cross getting an upgrade now is also, I think, would be weird, because they've sort of built up sort of this lore behind that Beyblade, and I sort of feel like the rematch with Chrome should be Dronsword versus Drake. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna like. The thing is, in this next chapter, which again is gonna release like in like a day or two, they're fighting Zuganic. So Multi is playing first match. First is 2 points. So in order for Bird and Cross to fight and break their Beyblades or whatever, Multi would have to lose, Bird would have to win, and then the last match would have to be Cross going up, I guess, maybe against, what's his name, King? But for them to both break Beyblades would be really weird. The way that I've been rationalizing it is, if they go to Cross and Bird, that they're going to be side Beyblades, kind of like Multi has multiple Beyblades. Well, Cross has multiple Drons, Bird has multiple Hells, I don't know. And maybe their sponsor goes, hey, it's the first floor, you know, here's some new Beyblades. That's my theory. I guess we'll see what happens. They could very well not even go to Bird and Cross, but we'll see. Now, as far as the shape goes, both of them look... Hellchain looks similar to Hellscythe, fairly similar. Although, to me, it looks like it's got some off-balance points. Dronsword looks worse. Or Drandagger looks worse than Dronsword in terms of performance, to me. Like, looking at that shape, it looks like it would be worse than Dronsword. I don't know. That may not be the case. Maybe it's better. But just looking at it, I would assume that this would be worse, just because it's so much more round. It's still got the spikes and stuff, but there's less pronounced impact points for this one. So I don't know. I obviously when we get it in, we'll test it and stuff. But I don't know. It doesn't look better to me. But newer releases aren't always better. Like when you look at Metal Fight, Pre-Hybrid Pegasus is way better than Storm Pegasus, better than Galaxy Pegasus as well. So it's very possible that we get new versions of Beyblades that aren't as good as previous versions, and this is totally normal. So I'm trying to curb my expectations. So it looks like all of the new releases recycle the same ratchets. We've got 460, 560, and 380. We do have all new tips. So we've got R for Drandagger, which I'm assuming is rubber. Rubber flat. So I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I could be wrong, but that's my guess. HT, I'm guessing, is high taper, which I can't imagine being great. Here's the thing with like high versions of tips. Unless they completely change the shape of the tip and then add the height, I don't think it's going to be better. I can't imagine using high taper over regular taper. Height puts you at a disadvantage because it makes your ratchet more exposed. And then S, I have no idea what S is. Maybe spike. It looks like a sharp tip or something similar to a sharp tip, but needle is already a sharp tip. So S could be some variant of sharp, maybe like, what's that tip and metal fight with the little balls, like on the ball, like it has a ball tip and then it's got all these little spiky things on it. Maybe something like that. But yeah, so those are pretty much the images. Like I said, we should have a breakdown of some of these in the next chapter. I don't know if all of them are going to get broken down in the next chapter. I would assume so, because I'm pretty sure this is the only chapter we're getting before these release in November. I think these release pretty early in November. Core comes out like the second week of each month, so I don't think we're going to get any more manga or anything before these release. Now, it's very possible that these don't get introduced in this next chapter and they're just releasing it early and then it'll get introduced later. No idea. No clue. But it's not common for main characters to get replacements this early on. And let me clarify, because people are going to say, oh, pre-hybrid system. Pre-hybrid system is typically what runs through the manga for like a year before we even ever get the anime. And then they change to a new system because nobody wants to see the same Beyblade. Nobody wants to use pre-hybrid Pegasus for 2 years. So they'll change it when the anime drops. But that's not the case this time. This time, the manga dropped, and then like a couple months later, the anime drops. And they're using Drawn Sword and Hellscythe in the anime. So it's... timeline-wise, everything's way faster this time around. So the only other, like Vault and Jenga both used their first Beyblades the entirety of the first season. So Storm Pegasus and Victory Valkyrie. In Plastic Gen, it's a little different because the products were out for a pretty significant amount of time before the anime dropped. So we had the manga, and then we had Ultimate Dragoon, which is or Spin Dragoon, whichever one you want to call it. That released at launch, and the manga didn't release for another couple months, and then the anime didn't release for like another year, and then by that time we had already had Grip Attacker, which got introduced for the second Game Boy Advance game, and was briefly featured in the manga, and then we went to Dragoon S, which is the main Beyblade that I guess they made for the anime. I feel like that was like the first one that was directly like this anime Beyblade, and then like halfway through he got Dragoon F. That's the only series in Beyblade where a main character's Beyblade gets changed, like in the first season, I think, pretty sure. I mean, aside from the other Bakutenshu characters, but I mean, they could be doing that, but to do it this early is strange, very strange, especially since Bird hasn't won. He literally hasn't won. Like, to me, it would be dumb for him to just keep breaking Beyblades or getting Beyblades broken or replacing Beyblades because he keeps losing. That would be so lame to me. Not to say that these don't look cool, though. Hellchain looks really cool. I love the little black chip thing. I think that looks great. The Drawn Sword, or Drawn Dagger, I keep calling it Drawn Sword. The Drawn Dagger looks worse to me. In terms of performance, okay? Aesthetically, I think it looks fine. But it definitely, to me, it looks worse. It may not be. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like super heavy. But that shape does not look better than Drawn Sword to me. Not to say I'm not hyped for it. I've already pre-ordered this stuff. Pre-ordered this stuff a while ago. And then Rhino, I think, looks pretty good. Not a whole lot of new parts. We get a new tip, which I'm very interested to see what that ends up being. The blade itself looks chunky. It looks heavy. If it is, that might be a good like anti-attacker. Maybe, instead of Drawn Sword on needle, we use Rhino on needle. Maybe that would be pretty good. As far as like the stamina, it's so chunky, I can't imagine it would be good for stamina. But for like a sort of defense anti-attack build, I think it might be good for that. But I do like the design of that. We got one brief image of the new girl character here from a Coro leak, I guess. So I shouldn't be posting these. I should not be making this video. Don't come after me, Takara Tomy Ninjas. But this stuff launches tomorrow, and I figured you guys would probably want to know about it as early as possible, so here I am. Anyway, I'm really interested to know what you guys think if you're going to buy these deck sets. You can't really see the recolors on these. I was hoping that they were going to do like the anime recolors for Bird's like Wizard Arrow and like the Stone Mont Blanc recolor that they used in the anime. I can't tell if that's what's happening here. I don't think that it is, but I could be wrong. The image is super low resolution, but yeah, we'll find out in a couple days. Anyway, let me know what you think down below, and whether or not you're gonna buy these. They've been pumping out a lot of stuff. So it's 2 deck sets next month, and then Rhino next month as well. And then this month we had the short random booster, we had Leon Claw, and we had the entry set. So I skipped the entry set for now. I just can't justify it. Like, it's just another drawn sword, another wizard arrow, and another stadium. As much as I like that red drawn sword and the wizard arrow and the stadium, I cannot justify purchasing it because I have like 3 stadiums already. I just gave one away to my nephew. If you haven't seen that video, it's pretty funny. It's the last release, so you guys should watch that. But anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. And really quickly, big shout out to our patrons, PJC92, Joseph, Zanky, Teddy, Lucario, Jotomo, Blueberry, and Sammy. Thank you guys for supporting the channel, and thank you everybody for watching.